Hi guys, this is Ravensleep45 and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And today we're going to be continuing with the Quintari Beast Drive. And it's been like what, 2-3 days after my previous recording because I have to do the dailies for the Beast Drive, and eventually I can get this blue quest marker where I can increase the reputation for said Beast Drive. So let's talk with Chaqurl Qhotl. I really hate these names in 14. Like, they really, some of those names I can pronounce well, but then some I will butcher it to high heaven. And the next level 70 quest is Wisdom of the Night. Good sir, it was sir, was it? Mother tells me that you've been working your tail off the ground to Soapy. Is this why I can't see your tail, perhaps? You can't really see my tail, it's just right there, flapping, oh not flapping, like moving about aimlessly, so I don't know what you're talking about, kid. Anywho, thanks to you, Father says they were ready to begin the excavation. Is that all so exciting? Char, you must remember to remain calm and composed. The caves are vast. The tunnels are burrowing deep into the bowels of the land. Slow, steady, and circumspect is the order of the day. As we speak, a preliminary exploration team is surveying the tunnel to determine where we might best begin the excavation. We will await their findings before deciding on the best way to move forward. Understood, Father. I promise to be suspect. Does it mean we can begin digging already? Too well. Mono, what news of the depths? Digmaster Qhotl, I fear we encounter something rather unexpected. I fear that we may not be able to commence the excavation efforts as quickly as we had hoped. You can't start digging? But why? What did you find down there? No sooner had we stopped through the entrance, our whiskers twitched in anticipation of the wonders that awaited. That we did see them. Nasty creatures swarming in every nook and cranny of the caves. A most troubling development indeed. We the Qitari are scribblers, not warriors. Indeed, it was the presence of a fearsome fiend, and worse, blocking our way through to the rabble that keep us trapped for hundreds of years. Are we doomed to suffer a similar fate here? And you know, I am here. I defeated every single being in existence, so you can probably leave it up to me. I did defeat the live wardens, you know. The ally of Ronka and the bringer of the night who fell these terrible beasts for us? I would like nothing more than take advantage of your kindness, but I fear there is a rub. A rub? A rub. In a preliminary exploration of the stubble, we discovered another ward seal of the tunnel below. A ward not like the one that barred the entrance, but one noticeable and unfortunate difference. It is a ward imperishable to all but the servants of Ox'Dalan, namely the Qitari. No, I fear we all have to find our own way to dispatch the beasts that have burrowed their way up from the depths. But without Sir Madame Artorius' aid, we'll be trapped in the moment we have stepped in there, tails and whiskers and all. Scree! The Great Serpent, it speaks! Indeed, and yet it does not move. Till now. We only hope to follow where it goes. This time, it appears we have fully grasped the importance of his message. A message which sadly is beyond my comprehension. If only there was someone who... But of course, the son of Duat. The son of You mean that tall fellow who likes to wave his arms in the air when he talks? God damn it. The very same. Artorius, it appears we require your assistance once more. Might you be so kind as to see my boy safely to the Slitherbough, that he might summon this Quinfort for us? Quinfort. Sure. Would you kindly, Artorius? Father and I would appreciate even so muchly and more. Now come along, Great Serpent. Whee! Okay, so let's go back to Slitherbough. Okay, it's right over here, if I remember correctly. No, that's Matoya's house. Okay, here we are. Oh, there's Quinfort. So, Quinfort, how you been? Are you being the loyal servant to this Great Serpent of Ronka ever since we last saw you? What's this you say? Fell beasts prowl the tunnels at every turn? No doubt they are the remnants of the shadows that wander the forest come to life. Demons come to suck dry the current of aether that gives the great wood life, reducing our home to a withering husk. They could be that, or they could be simply be nasty little brutes that crawl up their way from between the rocks. You know, like the ones around here. But then, my good Sir Madame, you know of these creatures too? I do. Mother tells me that when our ancestors first came to Slitherbough, they were set upon by a swarm of ravenous creatures that crawl up from below. Fortunately, one of the elder priests managed to utter an incantation to drove them away. If you look closely at the walls around us, you can see glyphs carved in them. The same protective magic that saved our forebears has been working into this very wall around us. In a sense, the settlement of Slitherbough itself serves as a ward against the dangers that lurk beneath us. Just so, valid! And it's precisely ward and incantation of this sort that I made the focus of my study of late. I remain ever impressed of your knowledge, my good Sir Madame. Might it be too much to ask if we could teach this incantation to Great Serpent, that he might protect us in our expedition below? Scree? What? What blasphemy do you speak, child? Do you think of me a humble servant of the wood? So brazen as to believe he could enlighten the divine protector itself? Look, this isn't my area of expertise, but it strikes me that there might be a similar way to approach this. Why don't we just simply fashion a talisman too for them? You know, like the ones we always use to keep dangers at bay. I can craft a simple object to serve as a vessel, then Quinfort can utter a few words and enchant it as he sees fit. Tradition dictates that the talisman to be fashioned from material indelibly connected to the bear's home. Those of us who live in Slitherbough usually gather what we need from the Qitari swamps, but for our Qitari friend, he looked further east. Artorius, your knowledge of rocks and stone just might serve us well here. Why don't you head over to Medjugorje and see if you can find us a Serpent's Eye. It's a rare gem that often carry about to ward off danger. And I will immediately begin warring an incantation especially tailored to protect our good friends from the sort of terrifying creatures that infest the caves and tunnels they seek to explore. Mwahahaha! A fruitful plan, if ever there was one. Qhotl, you can stay here with me in Slitherbough and help you collect the other materials I need. It'll be a perfect opportunity to introduce you to my fellow blessed. And once everything is we need, let us meet up at Hopl Stopple I want to test the effectiveness of the talisman for myself before we leave Char and his friends on their own. Okay. So, where is this? Okay, it's right down there. Okay. Hally-ho! It's good to leave like a marker on the map so I can easily find this thing. Okay, here we are. So we need a serpent's eye. And there is one right there. Boop. So I might as well get some extra wind crystals while we're at it. Alright, let's head back. Okay, now we need to deliver the serpent's eye. Oh, back to there. Okay, let's just use the teleport then. Let's go to Flip now. So I didn't need to travel all the way there. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. God damn it. Alright, here we are. Oh, there you are! Were you able to find something suitable for making our talisman? Well, it wasn't that hard, but here you go. Why yes, this should serve us quite well. Just give me a moment or two. I'll round up the materials Qitari and I gather from the village and whip up something in no time. Just add a little feather here, here, and here. Then thread it to this length of rope, and yes, this should do it. It's beautiful, and this will let us begin the excavation in safety. You say? Not so fast. The talisman needs to be enchanted before of it any use. And as it's now, it's a little more than a fancy little ornament. Well, Quinfort, this is the moment you've been waiting for, isn't it? Say no more! Stand back and bear witness as Quinfort's descends of Twat. With my incantation that is like a witch your eyes never have seen. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? We're not there for that! In truth, at first I was uncertain which of the many prayers I have memorized would serve us best. A traditional chant of the night bless? But wait! The Qitari are the ancient race, so perhaps this calls for our incantation from the ancient Ronka. Long did I ponder, choose poorly, after all. And it could have been mean death and destruction for our friends, if not for the forest itself. Fortunately, it was then that the Great Serpent came into me in my vision, enlightening me as to the precise words that would deliver us to salvation. Words which had been long been writ in the Gospel of Quinfort. You going to chant this talisman with the ramblings from your dream diary now? I really have a bad feeling about this. the hell? Don't be silly, Vanan! The Great Serpent speaks through me, and I am but a vessel for his divine wisdom. Hark! It is precisely as it says in the chapter 52, verse 5. I was like, what the hell, man? The God's claw stain gloom. She awaits at the arrival of the Steward. The coming of the darkness mark a new dawn. A proud people return to the woods where the egg once fell from high above. They're like, what? Oh, Great Serpent of Ronka, gifted to us by the heavens, hear the plea of the great sage Scion, and guide the children of Ronka safely to their ancestral home. That's it? Oh, Great Serpent, do tell me where my prayers heard? Scree? Scree? Why I never heard anything in incantation so inspiring? Your powers truly are something else, Master Quinfort. Don't flatter him. Oh ho! You're wise beyond your years, my young Qitari friend. My knowledge is vast, my powers indeed prodigious. It is more than the honor to wield them in the service of your esteemed people. Though he can prove to boast of madness from time to time, Quinfort is a accomplished priest. The damage should serve you well. Splendid! Our excavation efforts has already been delayed far longer than we can afford. Well, Char, this is the moment of truth. There's no telling what dangers lurk beneath us. Are you certain that you wish to accompany me to the tunnel below? But of course, Father. Why else would I come to this place with you? Together, we will unearth the secrets of our forebears and reclaim our history. Very well. It is clear to you do not take the task lightly. Perhaps you are coming of age after all. And with that, I believe it is time we start digging. Let the excavation begin! Ring, ring, ring! Oop. And jump. Sometime later, then you bother using the rope. Qitari now and Char have safely returned from their preliminary investigation of the tunnels. It's kind of nice the Serpent of Ronka has like a safety helmet because of the rock falls and everything. What is this? Another incantation of the Great Serpent made manifest before us? Whatever could be the meaning of this, I must know at once. Green! Ahem, if you could settle down just for a moment, Master Quinfort, I'll explain in detail. All I wish is down below. Father and I found a stone. It was big and square, covered in all sorts of writing, just like in the legends. As my boy says, we indeed find a stele, or at least one piece of them. What? Remains? According to a Qitari legend, the stele comprised 4 perfectly square stones stacked to form a massive pillar, which is to say that what we have found is but one part of the larger whole. And if that were not unfortunately enough, even a single stele we found has been badly through the years in many places. The engravings are all but indescribable. That is not all we found. Lying beside the shattered stones were several sad pile bones. No doubt the remains of our once proud forebears who carried the steel down below. I shudder to think of their last moments torn apart by singers as they hid away our own legacy for safekeeping. Father and I thought to carry the stone to the surface, but in that moment, something jumped out and stood in our path. What's this guy? Scree! Are my eyes to believe? The baddest serpent that first accompanied our Qitari friend remained on the surface, which means we have graced by yet another incarnation of the Divine Protector. A third manifestation of the Great Serpent? Just how many are there anyway? At the very least, this is the only one we encountered in our expedition. And yet, if it traveled here from somewhere to guide us in our efforts, it would not be unreasonable to assume that there are others where this one came from. In truth, it appeared and spoke to us just as we stood before the shattering stone. I cannot help but believe it was conveying to us a message, just as his brethren guide us to these ancient tunnels. Char and I pondered the matter, and we believe that we understand the Great Serpent's bid us to uneat what remained of the shattered and withered stele, and piece together our people's history anew with our own hands and minds. I see. If the stones truly had been shattered and withered by time, that's best for you could only hope to. Yes, surely you must have been able to make out something from what remained of the stone. What chronicles of old were written there? Ahem. What we were able to make of the writings could be described thus: a mighty Ronso wearing a crown, no doubt meant to represent the first Emperor of Ronka, stood tall with a blade raised high over his head. Before him crowned a Qitari, one of our forebears, no doubt. The carving would have seemed to depict a monstrous occasion that was first encountered between our people and the Empire. And the implications could not be more clear. Doubtless our ancestors, ill-suited for battle, were conquered by and subjugated by the might of Ronka. Under those yoke, they will find a new purpose as stewards of history. A most fascinating interpretation, Father. But if I might be so bold, I saw the drawings quite differently. I do not believe the Ronka Emperor would be so cruel as to threaten the poor weak Qitari. No! I believe he had found us a valuable and at the mercy of the fearsome beasts of the forest. He slew the beast by his own hands and befriended our ancestors, giving us new purpose as his subjects. That sounds really logical, honestly. Your optimism is animal, my boy, but I fear that such bright and cheery interpretations of events is unlikely at best. History is full of harsh truths, from which we must not avert our eyes. That's also true. Well, that is very true, because history is not so cheery and happy-go-lucky. There's always some dread that comes with it. But tales are still sung of the first Emperor might and majesty to this day, are they not? I simply cannot fathom that he would be so cruel as to enslave our people. If you ask me, both theories seem reasonable, but if you intend to keep a record of history to pass down to posterity, you're going to have to choose one. Two conflicting theories of the past, one entrenched in stone and sung unto the ends of time, and the other destined to be congested to the dust of the dead, deep cavern below. Truly, this is the turning point in the grand tapestry that is the history of the Qitari. Yes, at any rate, I believe we're all done what we can here. Vanan, I say! Vanan! Have you no interest in the witnesses this monstrous occasion in history? Probably not. I would not think of insisting that my interpretation is only valid one. And yet, I cannot simply toss it aside in favor of my son's rose-colored view of the past. Or is it how positively vexing? Scree! The Great Serpent! It speaks again! It does, and this time its message could not be more clear. It believes that Authorities, the ally of Ronka, should be the one to weigh on the options at hand, and decide which version of history shall be inscribed upon the stone. So you're making me choose now? Right. Let's see. Scree! The Qitari father and son have arrived to a conflicting interpretation of the events described on the stela. At the binding of the Great Serpent of Ronka, it has befallen upon you to determine which version of history will be recorded. In order to continue the Qitari quest, speak with either Qitari or Char and choose the interpretation of history that you find most convincing. Your choices will affect not only the restoration of Stella, but history as it will be told for years to come. Once you make your choice, you will be unable to go back, so choose carefully. Furthermore, yet another servant clad in curious armor has arrived at the Qitari camp. So I have to choose one which will be the truth? Okay then. Yay, reputation up. Yay, trusted. Borrow of the wisdom of the night blast. Qitari has set upon warring talents and yada yada yada. New quest, yay. Furthermore, you will undertake. Yes. Furthermore, you now have access to wild selections. Thank you. So I have to pick one of the other. That'll be something. But first things first, what do we have new for the vendor? We have the Great Serpent of Ronka, one of the mentions. Okay, I'll get that. Okay, so let us take a look at my menu real quick. Let's see, minions, oops, guide. So where's it under? Ah, here. So this is probably the same model as the other serpent. Yeah, it just has like a miner's helmet on top. Okay, so after taking a look at the menu, I have to decide one of the two histories to be passed down from future generations for the Qitaris. So on one hand, the Great Emperor spared their kind and make them as one of his subjects, or the Emperor enslaved them to make them his subjects. So which one will be the better choice of the of which? Because on one hand, it seemed more likely that he enslaved them to be their caretakers and whatnot, but I really don't know. In any case, I don't know if I can actually record a different outcome on this questline unless there's like a new game plus for the Beast Tribe, which I don't think there is. Again, I could be wrong, so on my better judgment, I'm gonna pick the child. Father may have his reasons for thinking as he does, but I choose to believe in brighter versions of history. Yes, I'm quite certain that the Ronkan Emperor was a beloved man who protected our ancestors from my fearsome beasts and bestowed upon them a position of honor in his society. Surely you agree? If you select to vouch for the Char's theory, the first Sela will be restored to his fleck of the iteration of history. Proceed, and you will be unable to view the stellar quarters envision it. The reward you receive and the contents of the quest follow will be the same regardless of the choices you make. You're free to choose the version of history you find most compelling. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the kid. Oh, thank you! I am most glad to know that you're a full type, like myself. First, Stella of Ronka Benevolence. I cannot help but feel my boy is too optimistic for his own good. And yet, if you do not choose to believe his theory, good man, there's no reason why I cannot do the same. At long last, I can look upon the history of my people in all its glory. But our work is far from over. Pray continue to lend us your aid. Father Neo sent for our finest Astians. The work must be done at once. Okay, so I wonder what would be the other choice. Maybe I'll probably look up for our on YouTube on other people's decisions for this. Protected by the talisman fashioned for them by the Knights Blessed, and hearkened by rediscovering a piece of their heritage. The Stewards now pursue their excavation efforts with a newfound zeal. Should you choose to continue to aid them in their cause? Thank you guys for watching my recording session for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, the Qitari Beast Tribe. And of course, if you have any comments, you can put them down below the video as well. And if you like this video, please click the like button. It's very much appreciated. And if you are curious on future content that are coming to my channel, you can probably subscribe or not. But if you do decide to subscribe on my channel, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified for future content that will be coming my way in the near future. And lastly, 3 projects which are currently going on my channel, which are, of course, Final Fantasy XIV Raid, Trial, MSQ, Roll Crest, Job Crest, Minions, Mounts, Trial, Extreme Trial, Savage, maybe Savage, who knows in the near future. And secondly, which will be, of course, Freight Grand Order NA, the challenge quests, the summoning videos for the new banners that comes out. And third, which will be, of course, as you all well by now, is Persona 5 The Royal, which it's been in the back burner for 2 years straight. And with that, this has been Raven Sleep 45. Take care, stay safe, and have a pleasant Final Fantasy XIV day.